working away on my computer and suddenly someone's talking about putting their hands against the wall. However, the engagement rate shows that it hits with this target audience. It's essentially saying like it's important to do short videos for searchability and discovery. So excuse my lion's name. Wow. English, none of that here. Kia ora, hello, my name is Sarita. I am a writer from New Zealand. I currently live in Canada, and this is my April wrap-up. So I'm going to go over a couple of my favorites, reading that I did last month, and then some updates like writing and creator marketing. So all the timestamps will be down below if you want to skip anything. But yeah, let's go. Reading was actually good this month. I did listen to quite a few audiobooks on Spotify. So yeah, it was great. It got me back into getting through like books again, which I love. So the first book that I listened to was Two Can Play by Hazelwood. It is only available on, I think, Spotify audio. It wasn't too long. I listened to it within like 5 hours. So I just listened to it while I was doing like marketing design work in the afternoon and got to read a book while working, which was great. I really loved it. It is about two rival game designers, I think, or game design leads, and they basically have both like pitched to a company to build a game, and basically the game company essentially tells them like, you guys need to work together. They go on this little like retreat, a forced team building retreat, and they're in close quarters, so you know stuff is gonna happen. Yeah, I loved that book. It was the perfect book to get back into reading, and then I went on like a little like romance dive in April. So let's move on. I continued to read this book, which I've mentioned already, I'm pretty sure. Still trekking through it slowly. I know once I finish, I'll be like, what do I read now? I will link another video where I talk about this book, so you can go there if you want to know more about it. It is a kooky, cozy murder mystery vibes, low stress type vibes. I have stopped reading Bride by Hazelwood for now. I just can't find the drive to get back into it, so I'm just gonna put it back on my shelf until I feel more inclined to read it. Another book that I DNF'd. I started listening to Summer in the City by Aster. I really was enjoying it. I loved the banter between the two, the main character and the love interest. I loved the setting and like the different dynamics and all the side characters as well. Like they were very intriguing to me. The only gripe I had, which was the reason why I stopped listening to it or DNF'd it, was because by the 40% mark, the main character is still stuck on her original opinion of this person, even though up until that point you've shown her experience with him shifting, and even in those moments he like makes her question her original judgment. She's like, oh okay, and she's defended him and all this other stuff, but then she always goes back to being like too scared to face her own judgments of him or opinions of him, because that means that she has to look at other things in her life. I think that's where it's going, but it was just too annoying. Like, she was just annoying me a bit too much. So I DNF'd it at 40%. But yeah, I think outside of that, that's more just that could just be like a personal gripe that I have with characterization. I don't know. Other than that, I honestly really enjoyed it. I love like the like romance elements. Like they have really good chemistry and like good banter and that sort of thing. It's just that one little like pet peeve that just kept like annoying me too much in the book. So I just DNF'd it. But then, I was listening to two books by Evie Mitchell. What is the series called? It is her All Access series, which is about some or all of the characters are disabled in some way. I actually really enjoyed it because I don't know much about the disabilities that the characters have in the books. And so it was really, I guess, informative in that sense, but in a way that it was normalized, which it is normal for people with disabilities. So I guess I just really appreciated that, because it was like learning something new that I didn't know, and also helping me to understand a different perspective and be more aware of my own, like, I guess, ableism. So the actual book that I read first was Not My Type. I listened to these on Spotify again. They are spicy. I think the second one was more spicy, but the first one I was like, oof. Just like sitting at work at my desk with my headphones on, working away. And then you hear someone say, and Not My Type is essentially like, she is a podcast host. The guy, what does he do? I've forgotten already. Why do I want to say he's a bartender? I know he's not. Oh, that's right. He's like into like, he's a carpenter. but also a rigger, which I didn't know what that was. Like, apparently he's like into like ropes. He teaches people how to use ropes. I've forgotten what the actual, is it shibari? To do like rope tying for that. I enjoyed that one. It was really cute. And then I also listened to the next one because I remember they had like a cameo in the first book. Love Flushed by Evie is about a couple who were high school sweethearts and then broke up. And this is like a second chance romance. And I love the second chance romance. The girl is like a sassy, take no prisoners girl boss type vibes. And then the guy comes in and takes over their father. He has a twin. They basically take over their father's business, and so basically the two work together, and it's those vibes. So they're like in close proximity. But it's this one was more spicy, I found. Which, listening to it, first of all, this is the third book that I've listened to that has spicy scenes, and I'm getting used to it, but it still like throws me for a loop when I'm like working away on my computer and suddenly someone's talking about putting their hands against the wall. Oh my god, I'm not getting into that. Anyway, so that is what I listened to. And then I also just started listening to one more book by Feeney, her new book, Beautiful Ugly. But then on the drive home, my Spotify told me I didn't have enough hours, which, by the way, I didn't know was a thing, so that sucked. I'm just going to wait until May and then I'll listen to it. But I was thoroughly enjoying it. That's all the books I read. In terms of anything else that I did this month, I have been jamming Block Blast like a crazy person. It's just when I'm listening to audiobooks, I'm playing Block Blast. If I'm waiting for my coffee to be made, I'm playing Block Blast. That's what I've been doing. So I want to go move into my updates. So for writing update, if you don't know or you're new to my channel, I'm currently writing a dual POV fantasy novel. It is inspired by Māori mythology and it has elemental magic and a slow burn enemies to lovers / like reluctant allies to lovers kind of vibes. A big theme across both points of view is like family relationships. In my last update, I had like struggled to write, right? So this month was great. I had a breakthrough. And I ended up writing 4 chapters. So I'm soaked. In my reset last month, I had mentioned that I was going to talk to my husband about telling me to write. Well, he's been telling me to write and it's obviously working. Even last night, I probably wasn't going to. I mean, I wanted to, but I was unsure. And yeah, it was good. I just sat down. I wrote only maybe 500 or so words, but every little bit counts. And I haven't gotten into that funk of like, I don't want to write anymore, you know? So it's been really good. In terms of word counts, I'm averaging around 2,800 words per chapter, but the chapter I just finished, chapter 4, did I say how many chapters I've written? Yes, I did. So the chapter I just finished was chapter 4 and it's shorter, about 1,200 words, but I realized that was because this is one of the chapters where I'd already like written some like ideas down when I first outlined and I was struggling to get into writing from the start. I had written from 2 perspectives in that and I didn't want to have 2 perspectives in one chapter, so it's kind of split in half, but there's an extra chapter now. In terms of word count goal, I'm still unsure of like my total word count goal and I don't really love going based on like word counts. It feels too restrictive. If we go based off approximately 2,800 words for 30 chapters, which is what my outline was, but that's probably going to increase a little bit, then that's around about 84,000 words total. Keeping in mind that there are sections where I've written and I've just said add descriptive detail about the setting or about this thing or something specifically like an activity that they're doing, which I don't want to come out of my like drafting flow to research. I'd rather just know something and come back to it later. So yeah, I have a feeling it's probably going to increase a fair bit when I come back to editing. But that's a future Sarita problem, not a now Sarita problem. My total word count to date is 7,164 words, which is just great for me because I only wrote like, I don't even remember. I wrote barely any words last month, so I am super happy with my progress. Anyway, let's move on to creator costs. Again, same thing this month, just my Canva Pro subscription. It is 19 Canadian dollars. I also wanted to add another section to Creator for analytics to actually analyze the content that I am posting on YouTube for the month and just see, like, kind of review it and see how it's going. And I hope by doing this, this will show you, if you don't know already or if you don't do this, how to kind of review your analytics and figure out what's working, what's not, if that makes sense. Without further ado, I have done 2 videos I posted 2 videos in April. I did my publishing trends and marketing tips for authors, and then I also did my March wrap up and April monthly reset. In terms of the date, the publishing trends one came out at the beginning of April. I did my wrap up and monthly reset a bit later, and it didn't get up until the 20th of April, even though I filmed it earlier. In terms of view to engagement ratio, the publishing trends and marketing tips for authors video was more popular, or it had a higher engagement rate. But I would say in terms of views, it's only got slightly more views than my wrap up and reset, right? Whereas the wrap up and reset video is almost at the same amount of views in less time, but it has a lower engagement rate. Based on this, you can see that wrap-ups and resets are good to have in your title because they are like a known topic, or like known, what do we want to call it? Video that people watch regularly. In terms of searchability, people are searching these terms, or they see it and they know what they can expect from the video. But the engagement shows that these types of videos, in my opinion, are more targeted to people who vibe with your personality, or people who are already watchers of your content. I would say the wrap-ups and the resets are, because they're updates on like either your life or something that you're doing, it has to be like relevant to the viewer, whether they enjoy watching your content specifically or they enjoy the topic that you're talking about. So it's sort of like an entertainment / inform type of content. Whereas the publishing trends and marketing tips for authors is not necessarily being searched as often, or it's very niche to authors specifically. However, the engagement rate shows that this target segment, or this target audience of authors on YouTube, or authors or people who want to be an author, it hits with them in terms of educating or informing them of information that they want to know. In terms of everything I've just said, does that impact what I'm going to be posting on YouTube? No and yes. Like, no, I'm not going to change what my plans are at the moment, because right now I'm just trying to post consistently to get into that routine. But also I want to, this is kind of like a testing phase. Like, I'm testing what type of content is working with audiences. Like, my main goal is to document what I'm doing, but also focus more on community building, find those people who are like-minded and build that rapport with them. Because I think I've mentioned this previously, like, I don't know any real life writers, and it's hard. Like, I know a lot of readers, but it's hard to like, I haven't been able to talk to anyone about like actual writing. So I'm really enjoying finding like-minded people on AuthorTube who I can like chat to in the comments, and like, you know, like you find regular people that you talk to, and it's like talking to a friend who you've never met in real life, but you know what I mean? Yeah, for now I'm going in the testing phase. Like, I'm just kind of seeing what works, and also what works for me in terms of posting. So yeah, moving on. So I don't have much for marketing, but I was Googling something the other day, and I noticed that up on the screen where they have, you know, they have like images, videos, and like in images it's just photos relevant to your search term, and videos is usually a list of like YouTube videos related to that. They've added a section called short videos, which I did not notice, and I don't know when they've done it, so my bad if it's been up there for ages. I was having a look, and it's not just like YouTube shorts that they're sharing. Like, a lot of them are. They are also having Pinterest and Facebook. It basically just indicates the direction and the impact that certain content has on being discovered. It's essentially saying like it's important to do short videos for searchability and discovery. So if you were wanting to grow, it would be worth looking at doing short video content. I just found that interesting and wanted to share that with you. Lastly, life update. Nothing too much has happened. Like, it was Easter, it was a great long weekend. Love that. I think I mentioned in my vlog about migraines. I've been on my migraine medication for like a couple weeks or a week or so now, and it's been like life-changing. It's been super nice to not wake up with like a raging headache, but it is like, I'm pretty lethargic in the morning, and it's just, I've noticed that it is a struggle to get up and actually like go about my day, when before that only really happened if I'd stayed awake till like 3 a.m. type thing. That's kind of been knocking me for a loop, I suppose, and part of me like doesn't want to medicate, but then the other part of me enjoys not having a migraine every day. I forgot to take my tablet on Friday night, I think, and on Saturday it was just like a shocker. Forgot how painful they are, I suppose, or like it was just like, ugh, this is the worst type thing. It's on my list to kind of like research a bit more about autism and ADHD with migraines, and obviously anxiety and depression, and I'm kind of interested in doing like a brain scan just to see like if there's anything that I could do that would not require medication or anything. I don't know. I've done a lot already where there are certain triggers that you know of, like lack of sleep or no water or no food or whatever. But also when you do all those things and you still get migraines, it's so hard to like know what to do. So yeah, it's just kind of, it's been difficult, I guess. Right now, the medication helps. Does that mean I have to be on it for the rest of my life? You know what I mean? So I'd rather not, but I don't know. Anyway, that was just a bit of a ramble. Aside from that, like, everything's been pretty good. I'm just happy that I've been writing again and still updating YouTube, which has been great. Anyway, how's your month been going? Did you achieve any of the goals that you had? Like, what have you been reading? Let me know what you think about anything that I mentioned, like with the marketing stuff or the analytics. Like, what's your take on that? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.